Because talking at child development, we got some right at that age. Dang, you're going to be killing it with the movie. I'll turn the light on. They are. You want the lights on or off? It might be cooler if we do that. Okay. So, nobody remembers removed 1, 2, or 3. It's like, so when we talk about child development, there they are. Hey. First one's pretty short. Anybody know anything about like foster care or have brothers, sisters, cousins, or any where you have to like, a lot of times they try to keep it with families. So like if my cousin is going into foster care, they're going to try to give it to me instead of like the sister.
So they don't split people up?
They try not to. Like their overall goal is family reunification. We have these in the social work department for y'all if you're hungry.
Can get one.
They're upstairs.
Get one.
If you want one.
I get someone. Huh? I get someone too.
Yeah. We're at upstairs.
They got the cheese too.
There's a cheese. I don't know if I have another cheese. We definitely have chips.
I am hungry.
Room 311. I don't know.
Do you want one? Do you want one?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you
There's
do.
salsa chips and cheese chips. Like right when you walk in room 311. So, if you have child development go on, you all have siblings, right? You were saying you have how many?
7
7?
or 8. I don't
Well,
know.
I don't call my dad, but on my side I got 3.
So did you grow up with all 7?
No, I grew up with 2 of my siblings, which is between my mom and my dad. That's
Okay.
who I grew up with. But like some of my dad's other children, I grew up with them too. Like one of my siblings is Breezy. I grew up with her too. And then the rest of them is just the rest.
All of them. So you got all of their experiences that kind of filtered into your experience. Were they older or
Most of my siblings are older, but I just found out that I have 2 other siblings and they're younger than me.
Okay. You had some too?
Yeah, I got 3. I got 3 siblings, and then I got a sister on my dad's side, and I got brothers on my dad's side.
Middle, would you be the middle of all of them then?
Well, on my dad's side, I'm the oldest.
Okay.
On my mom's side, I'm the youngest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it cold outside?
It's like a little chilly.
I don't know, the sun was
Do you want the
hitting.
window open or closed?
Open.
You're the furthest one away from it too. You like pulling all the air. So you guys may or may not remember these if you had me for intro. They're more pertinent to human behavior in the social environment because of really the trauma. So there's a lot of focus on trauma and then trauma-informed care. And the first 2 run together. So it's actually a little blonde girl that gets removed and has several different placements at the foster care. We got Andrew. And then also removed part 3 is more of a Hispanic family with a mom who kind of was, it looks like possibly on drugs or alcohol and then gets sober. So the kid is only temporarily placed. So oftentimes you have either a temporary placement or foster to adopt situation. Those can be tough times for the kids because so many things can go on. If you work at a foster care agency, you see some of the things that occur. Where did you all want to do your placements when you actually start doing your placement? We have to do a 400-hour placement your senior year. You work at an agency, so you can pick from one of many agencies.
I don't even know.
Wait, like we got to?
What
Like, we
type
gotta
of
find
agency
them?
though?
That's part of social work accreditation. You found them, see? Hey.
You told me it was 308. I think you said that.
311, but
Okay.
did you walk it on a class?
Yeah, no, I walked into 308, but it didn't even open the door.
Oh, it was locked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're like, what the, did the key actually fit in it?
Yeah.
I wonder where 308 is. Is that like Dr. Alunga's? You're what?
Thank you.
So yeah, when you all become a senior, you do a field placement. You pick. Do you want to work with kids? Do you want to work with a homeless shelter? Do you want to work with juvenile justice? Do you want to work with a food pantry? Do you want to work with a domestic violence shelter? You can pick now,
Oh,
and it can change.
so we need to be like doing research on what agencies we want to go to type shit.
That's the idea.
Oh my god, I did not mean to say that. I'm so sorry.
That's the idea.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
We got Shakira.
Like, do we get to pick though, or is it something that the university pick?
Ideally, you do pick. Like, you'll talk with Miss Nikita Jackson about it.
Mhm.
She's the field director, and she'll help place you guys for like what your specialty area is. The one newly funded one we got is the UPP program. It's called University Partnership. And hello, how are you? Good. The UPP, if you take a job at CPS after you graduate from here, they can do a $5,000 sign-on bonus.
We can work at CPS?
That is one of the specific placements. Because don't one of you guys have that child welfare class already? Right?
Yeah,
Are you surviving it? I know it's tough.
it's cool.
Okay, so you take that child welfare 1, and next month starts child welfare 2. I guess that's next week. You do your placement at CPS, and then you work there right after you graduate. They give you a $5,000 sign-on bonus. So that's one of the new placements we got in. Anyway, this would be more geared towards Child Protective Services. So it's very sad and dramatic. I'll give you guys a trigger warning if you take trigger warnings. Oh, you gotta watch a commercial. Any questions about anything? Are you surviving your semester? Are you surviving your semester?
Barely.
Shit, I mean, oh my god.
What's the hardest?
Biology.
Ooh,
I take environmental science, and my professor is trash.
He's awful.
where's he from?
Oh my god, we do take the same professor. He sucks.
Yay.
Where's he
sucks.
from?
I don't know where he's from, but he sucks. He's
He
terrible.
African.
Is he local? Okay, he's from Africa.
He sucks. Buns, cheeks, trash.
Is he from Africa or is he?
No, he's from Africa.
Okay. Does he have an accent?
Yes, and he talk fast.
That could be hard. That's the only reason I ask, is I work with a lot of folks from Burundi at our St. Leo Parish and Food Pantry, and I had to learn some Kirundi just to communicate with them. So, you guys may or may not remember this. Do any of you remember this? This is like,
I think I do.
I
think I do.
I think we watched this.
will you
Yeah, I
be
think
bored
we
if you
watched
see it again?
No.
How about you guys? Do any of you remember or move? 1, 2, or 3? All right, there's a trigger warning. You might. It is kind of sad. Like.
Sometimes someone hurts you so bad. It stops hurting at all. Until something makes you feel good. And then it all comes back. every word, every hurt, every moment. How could you ever understand where I come from? Even if you ask, even if you listen, you do not really hear or see or feel. You don't remember my story. You haven't walked my path. You haven't seen what I've seen. My past defines me. This is who I am. I am unseen, unheard.
You know if they can Photoshop those nowadays? I was wondering that. Like the new pictures they take in
They
school.
probably can,
Do they Photoshop?
but I think it's only if you add them, only if you pay for them.
Really? Oh, because she has 2 black eyes.
I was about to say, every teacher's supposed to be like recording that and like
I'm
asking
pretty
somebody.
sure that's what happened.
So
So,
definitely, because she didn't cover up nothing.
so get ready. That would be next.
Unwanted. That is what I am. If even I am anything.
It's a mandated reporter. Teacher of social workers. Sounds like they're recording. It's a little dramatic.
It seemed like the same thing that held me up, forced me down. The world turned upside down, and order disappeared. Nothing was how it was supposed to be. And a heavy sadness filled my soul.
Let me know if it gets cold. I'll shut the window.
If your brake can't do this,
So somebody probably did report them. The cop showed up. It was a little bit more dramatic than it might have
Why
normally
did you take
been.
her brother?
What's that?
Why did you take her brother?
Oh, that they separated the brother. They probably didn't have somebody who would take them both. But overall, most agencies try to include family reunification. Like that's a big deal. But yeah, that's gonna
I
mess
don't
the
think
kid
they
up.
make it a big enough deal.
At all.
Right.
It's a
Like I
lot.
feel
Right.
like if we, I'm not like I feel like that should be like something that's like a law,
Uh-huh.
not a law, but something that's like embedded in like they law, the code of conduct
sure.
or something. If we siblings, like you gotta.
You see it all the time.
Yeah.
I watched this show called, what is it called, The Fosters. Sis was fighting to stay with her brother. She did not care what she had to do.
Like,
Right.
why would you
Right.
adopt? Why would you adopt only one child? Like that's traumatizing.
It's disrespectful.
So,
too. Like,
it
why would
is-
you keep them away from the only people that they knew?
Yeah.
And I'll say this, it is possible they reunify, but I guess they're trying to cover every issue. It's a well-made short film. It's only This
Yeah.
one's only 12 minutes, and then there's a second part we can watch either today or Thursday, but it is very well made. So that's the social worker dude wearing the generic social worker clothes like I do all the time. I am at the thrift store.
Deeper and deeper I fell within myself. And nothing could draw me out. Trapped in the misery of my life. Lost in the sorrow of my soul. Unable to see the light. Unable to see the dawn. To feel. To hope. To dream. And I found the darkest days of my life kept coming.
So these could be the foster parents that do it only for money. They seem kind of to do weird shit, like throwing her in the shower here.
The blackest nights of my soul never stopped. It seemed like it was always nighttime and nightmares, and never morning. And maybe you wonder why, but mostly you try not to think about it, and try to get by, and try to survive. And all the other stuff seems so much like nothing compared to just wanting the most important things back again. Like wishing you could see your mama's smile again, and hear her sing that one favorite song that always calms you down when things were all messed up. Or if you couldn't have her back, at least get to take care of your baby brother. 'Cause you know he needs you. He's gonna be so scared all alone. And who's gonna hold his hand and whisper it'll be alright to him? And who will whisper it to me? I know I am helpless, dependent, desperate. But what happens when those you need the most threaten your very existence?
So now she may be in the permanent placement, like you get a temporary one, maybe you get like an agency, and then a foster home opens up. So this could be her longer placement.
I've heard plenty of promises, and they all sound the same.
And kids that are traumatized and act out.
Push hard enough, and sooner or later, they all prove to be empty.
For sure.
The sun comes up every morning, but do you know where? Each place is somewhere different. It's hard to find east when you keep moving around, but at least it comes. It always comes. I've come to depend on that.
So sometimes they have like an emergency placement. If it was like the middle of the night, somebody would be on call, like, yeah, we could take them. And that could have been what the first one was. And then the permanent placement is what she's in right now. To show what it's like.
And slowly seasons changed around me. And it seemed this time that maybe the world would not be pulled out from under me again. Feet safe, roots starting to grow. Little buds of hope forming. Slowly attempting to trust this new life.
Whatever, let me show you what I got for you. Show you again.
I wish someone would tell me it's gonna be okay. That one day, maybe, I'll feel normal. And it won't always be the one. That I'll have a mommy who will hug me and be strong for me. Because maybe I can't do it all by myself.
So she might think she's getting kicked out again. Hiding her stuff.
This, my past, my history, my story, is not my fault. It's not because of me. It doesn't have to be what defines my future. I am lovable. I am worthy of care. And that glimmer of light, it makes all the difference. The glimmers of light give me hope that someday my summer will come.
So that's one we show a lot with like foster care training and with parents preparing to be foster carers. You see a lot of what the kids go through. Like it kind of gives you an idea of maybe what they went through before they got to you. You guys want to watch part 2?
Yes.
That's the second one. We could just then do 3 on Thursday. So this one's a little longer, but they're together.
You don't remember my story. All you can think about is your own story.
It's creepy for me as my brother adopted a little blonde girl and she seriously looks dead on this.
It's just like, so I know a foster care can be hard because our care, like, they be real traumatized.
Yeah.
But it's like, you see how the lady trying and she still just,
And she
Go off
was
at
a
everything.
little bitch to her. Like
it's like, what are
yeah,
you doing
because she
at
had
that point
she had a
in that
trauma
moment? It's like,
response
I'll be ready
about
to
the
give up.
dress. Yeah, I know. So they try to prepare you for all of this when you're getting trained as a foster parent. They're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Or like, "Are you positive you want?" You know, and it's hard. It's hard work. So yes, you are spot on. I'm actually cold.
You cannot heal me. You're not a healer. You cannot save me
She's already
or hide me. This is my story. I have to make peace with it. Once upon a time, there was a girl who was being torn apart. In between the homes, she learned not to trust. always have regret it.
In what ways have you maintained a parent and child relationship?
I love them.
The issue with this hearing is not whether or not you love your children or if they love you. The issue is, at this point, if you have a parent-child relationship with your children, and if it will bring them harm for that legal relationship to be terminated.
Ms. Law, do you understand the purpose of this hearing?
Yes.
So you understand that this hearing is to terminate your parental rights. Do you understand that if the judge terminates them, you will no longer be the legal mother of your children?
Yes.
Pampers, the #1 pediatrician rep.
And so even when you adopt a newborn, my brother and sister-in-law did adopt, it's 6 months until you get parental rights, because that's a big decision, you know what I mean? Like that's something that's actually, there you go, right there. And I don't know what the first part said, but it was like, we missed a second. So they did adopt, I think it was 2 14-year-olds babies at the time. So they do still give them 6 months to decide whether or not they want to keep them or keep them in the family, or if they're able to keep them. And that's what this hearing is right here. And they'll flash in and out of it throughout these 20 minutes here.
Feels like a circle. A never-ending, ongoing cycle. And I don't know how to stop that. Or change it. Or break it. When I finally come close, it starts all over again. A whirlwind, tornado, set out to destroy me. Hi.
Hi. You know, I think I'll be another 15 minutes.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I do like that they also show a lot of the art in here, because that's one of the therapeutic components you're supposed to use in trauma therapy. Like sometimes your trauma is stored in pieces of your brain that you won't unlock until you do what they call a sensory-based intervention. Some people use horticulture therapy, some use like yoga, artwork, drawing. So it's interesting, she does a lot of that stuff.
Sometimes things begin to get better. Once upon a time, there was an astronaut, and she was stuck in space because she lost her rocket ship. She didn't know how to get back to Earth. Life falls to a new rhythm. Where'd it go? Under your skirt. You're so smart. A new normal. If you went through the atmosphere, that's a big word. Can you say atmosphere? Atmosphere. Nice. And it may not be the best. But I've made peace with it. What's that? That's cool. And it feels like almost I might be happy. Look at the stars up there. Maybe I can write my own story. Start from scratch. Forget all the past.
Great. What's this one about?
Oh, this one's a tornado.
Did you know there are tornadoes in outer space? It's actually how stars are born. All right, Zoe, we have a visit with your mom today. Let's go pick up your brother.
But then, of course, someone else makes a choice and leaves me alone to figure it out.
Now remember, this is your last visit with Benaya. Isn't there anything I can do to change it? You need to prove that you're taking steps to get your life back together.
I know. Okay, my life doesn't have to be this way. Too hard? I can help you? Now try. Good. Now you want to do the other one? Okay. Put your cup down. Help me take the socks off. Good job.
Who says you have to spend more on?
So the the stress of wanting family reunification, they give you a lot of chances to get your life back together. Say you're in drug and alcohol treatment, maybe you get a chance to graduate, maybe there is prison time and they get a chance to finish up or show that they've gone to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings or something of that sort.
What if they give them back to the parents, but they want to stay with the foster? Do they get to do that, or they don't? They don't really take the kids into consideration like what they want.
That's a good question. I feel like I need to ask your teacher that teaches the child welfare class,
So they don't.
Karen Johnson Jordan.
Yes.
I would say, because I'm just trying to think of it on like the flip side too. Like I'm growing up and I hate my damn mom, so I want to move the hell out of my house and I like make up some shit about her and I want to go to. I think they also have to protect against that too, if that makes
But
sense.
I mean, that just be in the moment.
Right.
Like if you show that you really don't.
Right.
Because sometimes they really do be trying to tell the little social workers and stuff like, I don't want to be here, like it's horrible.
Right.
And they don't be listening.
I know.
So
right.
like, and they take them away from the good home they was in. They put them back where it was for.
So they are supposed to do their due diligence and investigate, and that's not to say they don't mess up like all the time. So it's probably one of the trickiest places to work, and why it's so important to be trained properly. And yeah, good question though. I'm sorry I can't answer that well. What do you guys think?
About what?
If they are about to get placed back with mom, and she's 13, she's like, I want to stay at the foster home.
Let her stay at the foster house.
I know I don't really have an answer.
Sure, because like, if she don't want to go back, because I love my mama, and if I get too away from my mama and I don't want to go back, that says a lot. Like that really speaks volumes, because everybody
Right.
loves their mom no matter how bad their parents are. Like you love your
Right.
parents.
So
So like, if you
there's
say I don't want to go
I
back,
feel like I will allow
like-
their mom to have visitation, but I feel like if she more, it's up to her. Her happy, I feel like her happiness and she more sane with her foster parent than let her be with her foster parent.
right. Yeah. So you'll hear many of things, and one thing that is true, if you are placed and you are taken from family, no matter what, at 18, 20, 25, you're going to go try to find your biological family. You just want to find out about you, like
yeah,
where did I come from? Who am I? What's the point? So yeah, good question. That's a good one. Your mom looks off.
Can I please hug you goodbye?
See, there you go. Even he's like, nope.
No, the crazy is he was barely even, he wasn't even old enough to even remember for real. Like he was, but he wasn't.
Gotta get in the rocket. Yeah, heard you. Can you get in the rocket ship, honey?
I can tell there's something
Thank you
off.
so much for letting us come on short notice.
That's okay, come right in. Hi.
This is Emily. And
Hi.
hi, Rose.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You're very excited to meet Benaya.
Oh, that's great. I think this is gonna be the best thing for Zoe. Because she can't handle him being taken away from her again.
They'll have bi-weekly visits indefinitely, and I know it's not ideal.
Okay. Find your sleeves. Here you go. Use your muscles. Let me see your muscles, Benaya. Yes.
This your mom taking
Yes. This is Miss Emily.
Hi. How you doing? I have something for you. You want to open it?
And that's weird too. It sounds like he's custody of the state. You know what I mean? Like this, the social workers are making that decision as the state, and that is.
Oh, rest in peace, man. That's pretty cool, Benaya.
Yeah, she knows. She's being stupid. That would be great.
Oh, Tara? Hey, she had to leave early. Oh,
She knows.
Benaya! 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 Benaya!
Zoe.
Benaya!
Zoe, wait. Zoe. No, listen. I have to so quickly they won't let me come.
When I finally come close, starts all over again.
What are you working on in school?
Homework?
Do you still like to draw? I always liked your drawings. I love you, you know? Hey, I love you. And I'm gonna fight to get Benaya back. My mom never fought for us, but I'm gonna fight for him.
What about me? Don't you want me to?
Of course. You're not a kid anymore. You're all grown up.
What? She's like
When I
13
close
years
my
old.
eyes
She forced her
and
to
see
do
my
it.
life, the life I always imagined, I see something different than what I see now.
Get up to 100%.
So she's upset, obviously, and I think this little portrayal does do a good description of like what some of those things look like.
Damn.
Yeah.
Apparently she tried to tell him that was gonna happen. They don't listen.
Yep. She knew.
She may have some negative side effects to it. But this will help with moments of uncontrollable anger. I really believe this will make life easier.
They should have put her on like medication.
Doesn't need meds. She needs more therapy. She needs more interaction with her mom.
You see what I do, but forget why.
You'll still get a chance to see him. Hopefully twice a month, maybe even more. I've already set up a play date for this weekend.
Why do they think they can just have him? They aren't his parents.
If it doesn't work, you can always up the dosage, or add a second medicine to it to help you feel a little less sad or angry.
But why wouldn't you?
You forget what I've heard. You forget my pain.
Well, the courts have said that your mom has to.
what? I'm not good enough for them?
That's not it at all, Zoe.
Then what? I explode inside. Sometimes slowly. Sometimes all at once.
I know. Yeah.
But always eventually.
What are you reading?
The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah? Is it good?
Yeah. It's better than the movie. In the book, Oz is a real place. It's not just in her dream. The tornado catches her up and it takes her away to a real place.
Is that you?
No. She's trying to escape. But the tornado keeps pulling her back in. She keeps spinning and spinning.
It's not always about escaping though. Sometimes you have to learn how to survive inside of it. There you are. Right in the middle of all that spinning, you can let that tornado rip apart your heart, or you choose how to let what has happened to you affect you. Your mom's story doesn't have to be your story. Your future can be different. Remember that. And remember what happens tomorrow. We get a chance to visit Benaya.
The men's and women's soccer team.
And I do often show this because I feel like every time I watch it, I see something different. You know, like you catch different things that the author is trying to emphasize about foster care and different challenges that come up. So.
All ages, all sexual orientations, and gender identities. Everyone. Lead the way in fair pay, but you say it.
So, guess what? Did you know that space tornadoes are actually real? When the star's being born, it only comes out of a tornado. It's high winds. They're super dangerous. They're hard to survive. But at the end, the stars left. In the middle of all that wind. That's you, everybody. Yeah, we're stars. Isn't that cool? We're stars.
Zoe, you wrote this in your diary. Sometimes someone hurts you so bad, it stops hurting at all.
Why are you reading her diary?
Honey,
I know that is
what
weird.
were you talking about when you wrote that? If you were to go home to live with your mom right now, would you be safe?
Objection, Your Honor. Cause for speculation.
Objection sustained.
Once upon a time, there was a girl who was being torn apart.
Do we have a house here today? No, Your Honor.
Maybe you never thought your path would cross these valleys or be led up these mountains.
So now they're in the court hearing to determine custody. They asked if there's a CASA. Have you guys ever heard of that before? Several of our seniors got sworn in as a CASA this year, so it means a court-appointed special worker and or special advocate, where like you advocate for the client, and so that's something you can do as a senior during your placement, and that was interesting that we had them all sworn in last semester.
This law, you have made considerable efforts. However, what you
But no one can break the inside of me,
So we cannot continue to wait.
and no one can tell me who I will be.
She needs to be permanent safe. I find this is in Zoe's best interest. So today,
And the question looms, you have the choice. Where to go next. We are stars. On fire, wind, or into the chaos. And the winds whip around us. No one stays with us. Everything we know is taken away.
You know, it can be hard when you're living in a home that's not your own. Hard to concentrate and stuff.
But one day,
You don't have to draw. Just remember that you get to decide who you want to be. Okay? No one else can do that.
one day, thanks, Miss Zoe, we will shine.
So they have an interesting ending there. With the court, you don't know what happened. You know, they kind of like tune out. You don't know if she got placed back with mom, and I think they're trying to show that no matter which way she went, placed with mom or in foster care for 6 more years. She turned into a teacher like her foster mom was, it looks like, and she's helping other foster kids. And it's a good one. So part 3 we can watch on, it's this one. It's only 21 minutes. Love is Never Wasted, but they kind of show a depiction of some of the things that come up with foster care and how things run down and go. But any questions about, we're getting more into childhood now development, so we're going to get on to the next chapter. It'll be the different things that happen to us as we get older. Do you guys remember there's that time where like most girls are taller than most boys in grade school, is it? Is it like 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and then
Usually high school, the boys start getting taller.
it's like 9th grade that happened? I should know this spot
They
on.
start blowing up, dude.
Right.
Like, dang.
I remember growing like 6 inches one year. Like I was a short little, I think freshman year I was 132 pounds. I had to wrestle 132 weight class. I did soccer, cross country, wrestling, and then track. So we're going on, I actually think we're on 5 now. Let me see if this opens right. Early childhood, because we just finished 4 here, which was infancy. And a lot goes on in early childhood. Same things with like ACEs. How many of y'all remember what ACEs are? Or familiar with ACEs? So you'll hear it a lot in social work. So it sounds weird because I always think of aces and eights like poker, but there's a study about adverse childhood experiences. And there's 10 questions that determine ACEs. And we give it to a lot of our students. Have any of you heard of Dr. Nadine Burke? So she is now the Attorney General of California. Actually, I think what's the doctor? Surgeon General. So I think there's Attorney General and Surgeon General. She's a medical doctor. I would show you this, but it turns off my, I'm seeing somebody sign in. It will kick me out because of the TED Talk noise. So a lot of times I like bust it and then stop it. But if you get a chance to see what she has to say about ACEs, she kind of goes into great detail what the study about 25 years ago went into and the county she worked in Southern California, and how as a medical doctor, she screens for trauma and gets them connected with social workers and gets them, because of the health effects that's that noise that always, whenever YouTube hears this noise go off, it goes to TikTok and they say, your copyrighted information has been shut down temporarily. I wait to see if you play it. But
in the mid-90s, the CDC and Kaiser Permanente discovered an exposure that dramatically increased the risk for 7 out of 10 of the leading causes of death in the United States. In high doses, it affects brain development, the immune system, hormonal systems, and even the way our DNA is read and transcribed. Folks who are exposed in very high doses have triple the lifetime risk of heart disease and lung cancer, and a 20-year difference in life expectancy.
so she's going into what trauma does to the body, and it's, you die at, instead of for men, it's 75, women live to 80, men are dying at 55, and women are only living to 60.
And yet doctors today are not trained in routine.
What's that?
Why do that before females?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Why do that before females?
Why do men die before them? You know, a lot of them say it's because they don't go to counseling, they don't go to like therapy, they hold on a lot of the stress, they don't maybe eat right, there's a lot of theories. We do get into it towards like the end of these PowerPoints, but you actually cover that in Human Behavior in the Social Environment Part 2, because that's more like older adulthood. But yeah, there's a lot of theories that men, what would you guys think? You ever see how men don't want to go to counseling?
Yeah,
Is that still a thing?
yeah.
Yes.
You're like,
They don't- they
oh,
don't
F
trust
no, God will take care of it or something, you know, it's like
It's not even God to take care of it. It's just like they have like bad outlets.
control, yeah, maybe drinking, maybe smoking, maybe gambling, I
Or
don't,
like
yeah.
workaholics.
Right, yeah, that's another one. So that's a good research study, so that's like a really good research question, which I know there's been a lot of research done, but you type that in, you can find like 5 articles. That could be one of the presentations you give for the middle of the class, that presentation, if you want. If you want to just present on ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, anorexia, alcoholism, ADHD. There's a lot of A's. I'm starting to figure that out. Alcoholism, addiction, ADHD, anorexia. Those are some. Thursday we'll get into this chapter. And it's basically they start off with the different stages. So kids go through, the stage we just finished was autonomy versus doubt, the toddler stage. So kids are like figuring out life, how to be autonomous, how to walk places themselves, how to go wherever, eat on their own, how to be, how to poop on your own. I think that's like 2.5 to 3. Now 3 to 5 is preschool stage, and you learn initiative versus guilt, and like learning how to just be an individualistic person. And we'll get into that. And any questions at this point?
No.
I don't think we ever answered why the barbershops have that pole. Anybody know that? There's like some history to it. I meant to play it the other day.
I thought it represents the barbershop that, that's what it is.
Right, but it used to be they were like surgeons, and that's why they had scissors, and that's why there's the red, and I think, I don't know. So I meant to play it the other day, and then I forgot, so I'll just skip it.
Why barbers have a pole outside their shop? Barbers' poles are a familiar sight today. They can be static or evolving, and
There's
are
one
colored
outside
red
that
and
dorm,
white,
right?
or in the United States,
That
red,
dorm
white,
has
and blue.
right.
But do you
Okay.
know what the meaning behind the pole is?
Oh, because there's a lot
The
of.
barber's pole goes all the way
Is that
back to
what?
medieval times, when barbers were also surgeons.
That's it.
In medieval Europe, hairdressing and hair cutting was just one of many jobs that barbers performed. Barbers could perform surgery including leeching, cupping, enemas.
Oh, you heard of leeching? They put leeches on you to pull the bad blood out of your body. And then cupping is like if you got pain in your back, they put a hot cup and it like sucks the muscles. Anyway, so it's because they were surgeons is the gist of it. But for today, that's all I have. Did you guys?
I'm watching this movie.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I think I've heard of that.
And then I was like looking it up, like stuff after, like